Out here in the isolated woods, the cabin in Juliet, Georgia, coming to you to talk to you about the isolation that a truck driver can feel on the road from his or her family. Most of us are the ones that our family has counted on their entire life. And when something happens and you're miles and miles away, it's going to take you hours, if not days, to get there. You can feel totally helpless. I had a situation similar to that happen a couple of months ago, and it's taken me a while to be able to put together a video about it. Let's talk about it. Coming up.
Over the past 2 decades, whenever my daughter has hit a bump in the road, she's got me on speed dial. It's like I've become her personal superhero without the cape. Sure, I might not have all the answers, but I'm pretty good at the whole phone a friend thing. And guess what? My stepdaughter caught on, and now I'm her go-to hotline as well. Who needs tech support when you've got me? The age-old tale of fathers and their driving daughters. I think every dad has a secret handbook titled, "Why My Daughter is the World's Most Daring Driver." They're always convinced that their little princesses are out there racing with the wind, burning rubber at every turn, and using the midnight stars as their curfew. When my daughter first started driving, the signs were as clear as a flashing neon billboard saying, "Buckle up, Dad, it's going to be a bumpy ride." For instance, there was this one time she decided to run over a deer that had already met its fate. Now, before you judge, let me explain. Being the super helpful dad that I am, I once gave her the golden rule of driving. You don't leave your lane. Somehow, she took that as, avoid potholes, but roadkill is fair game. Brakes, my dear, are not just for decoration. Those early driving days. Each moment behind the wheel was like a nail-biting scene straight out of a blockbuster movie.
One of the first parking lots.
Okay, Mom.
Footage. Okay, I'm trying to get to one of the first parking lots because I am not dealing with that traffic up there. I don't know how. I don't want to.
But hey, at least we both learned something. She got better at driving, and I got really good at deep breathing exercises. One night I wake up to an alert that I've never heard before. Life 360's crash detection. My daughter's been in a wreck, and I'm 600 plus miles away. Talk about a father feeling helpless. I work for a great company. I have no doubt that they would have tossed me the keys to one of the driver courtesy cars and sent me on my way. But at dad driving speeds, we are still talking about 10 hours. I got a hold of her and found that it was a deer strike. This footage is from a Rexing V5 dash camera. Of course, it's 9:54 p.m., but also watch the speed. Someone left her lane, but slowing down. Nope. That deer didn't stand a chance. Of course, she did not take any photos of the dead deer for Dad's YouTube channel. Rude. I know, right? We live in the deer capital of Georgia. Every year, Monticello has a deer festival. There's one less deer there now. Watching it up close and in slow motion, we can see the deer's demise. I asked her to send me photos. I'm trying to ascertain if the vehicle is drivable and will get her home and do this remotely. No leaking fluids, no strange noises, just one headlight. The next morning, I got a few better pictures. Ordered a dent pulling kit and some replacement headlights from Amazon. They'll be there when I get home. Luckily, we have a parts car, a PT Cruiser that she drove before this one. We got to have a father-daughter project, swiping a fender from it.
Tell me about the night you hit the deer.
I hit a deer crowd.
Who was the first person you called?
You.
Why?
Because I was crying.
But you knew I was a long distance away.
Who else am I gonna call? I was scared and upset, and I saw a dead deer 2 feet from me. Yeah.
Did we get it handled?
Yeah.
Did you learn anything?
Don't hit deer. Excuse me. Actually, the deer hit me, and I'm willing to fight about it.
Did you learn anything about even though I'm far away, I can still help you?
Yeah. I mean, I always do that, but yeah.
As the guy who solves the problems, it always has worried me that I'm not able to be there when a problem happens. Sometimes I feel like I'm IT tech support over the phone when
a MacBook won't boot up, or an iPad has a problem, or a phone. When a vehicle accident happens, it's good that we have the technology that we have today. iPhones, we're able to take photos and videos. We're able to communicate. We're able to search the web, find parts, be ready to fix a problem. We're able to reach out and communicate. We're able to know what's happening at home. Truck drivers, during the time when I was growing up, they wouldn't have known about this until they got home. They might have called home on a payphone and found out a day later. They certainly wouldn't have found out that night. There wouldn't have been a Life 360 crash alert, which I hope to never hear again. But I always worry that something happens to my wife or to my daughter or to one of my stepdaughter or my stepson, and I'm not there to be able to do something about it. One of the good things about being with a good company like Cheeseman is I know that they'll do whatever it takes to help me if I have a problem like that. It's one of the things about a smaller company that has good culture. And culture is a hard thing to describe when you're talking to somebody about a company. There's a lot more. I mean, we have great compensation. We have really good equipment. But there's a lot more to the picture of a trucking industry job than just the compensation you're receiving every Friday. You got to look at the whole picture. Is there a culture, a place you really want to be? And I've found the place that I'm going to be at until retirement. I thank you guys for watching. And remember, when the EMP hits, get your ass home and make sure you're enjoying every day at work.